Hey guys, Susanna here. I'm just showing you the latest stuff that I've done on my Christmas runner, and I've sort of finished doing a little bit more. Just did it on there and around here. I thought, I don't know if I want to do any more on there. I'll see how I go, but I thought I've done enough work on there for now, whether I go back and do some more. I'm not sure whether I've shown you this, where I put the button on here and I finished sewing on I got rid of a row of flowers and I put these on there. So I'm probably going to do a bit of stitching like I've done on there, on these guys here. So, but that might be a down the track plan. They're not too bad at the moment. They've just been, visor fixed and stitched down. So, done the Silent Night, still working on these. Still working on everything. It's big, we're turning out bigger than Ben-Hur, this piece. Okay, now, so I've got 2 more of these squares to do. Love this guy, and we're getting closer and closer to Christmas, so I better pull this over, have a look if we're in camera. Yes, we are. And grab some of these. Now, I'm not sure what I want to do with these. I might just have to give him a bit of an iron and put him down. Sorry, I'm just off camera for a bit. I might just plug in my little baby iron, which I bought for another project, which will probably be the video that I'm going to do next. Okay, so I'll plug that in and maybe put that on 3, make it hotish. Just let it warm up a little bit, because I think they need a bit of an iron. Excuse my fingernail. I've been picking at, like, when I went into the place, I said I'll have a manicure, and unbeknownst to me, they gave me a shellac, and it's near on impossible to try and get off, and I've been picking away at one finger. So yeah, tried to get the stuff on, and it's really hard to come off. So when you ask for one thing and you get another, and now I know why. When I went up to the counter, it was $50. Yeah, I just don't like it when these places pretend they don't understand what you're saying and do something that you're not really asking them to do, because although it looks pretty, as you can see, it almost looks like I've got fake nails, because that's how much it's grown and it's stained on, but look, it wrecks your nails. Not good. Now, I might take these out for now, and then just push that back, give it a bit of an iron, because it really does need to sit a little bit flatter than it is. It's cute, this little iron. Now, I'll turn it off in a minute, but so what I would like to do, now I've got my little, don't go off, 1, 2, 3. I've got my little, the wool mat thing underneath, so it's not bad. Move that over a little bit. I just want to make it a little bit flatter. That's not all curled up, and that's only been like that because you know, it's been sitting there undone for a bit. Done it again. Got to be really careful what you do with your fingers around this thing. Maybe I'll turn it upside down that way. Push it down. So, I've got bits and pieces sitting there. I've stitched the top pieces. There we go. That's a little better. And then this might need a bit of an iron too. Just like there's something underneath there. Okay, now I can turn it off. Okay, go over there and I'll unplug it just in case. So I will get these guys and give it a bit of a pin. Just to hold it down, and I'm going to do that, that, and in the middle. I'll probably do the same with this. And it doesn't need to be much, just enough to make it sit down without annoying the heck out of me. Okay. There we go. Even though I think it probably could come over a tad. There we go. And then I'll put this at the right end. I'm going to just have that there and have that going on that end like that. And come in, still with a couple of pins, wouldn't hurt. Just to make sure it stays down on me while I give it a bit of an iron. A stitch. Okay, and then I'm going to probably do the, the work on that. Now, let's look what we've got here. Go for my little pieces. Okay. Have it going like that. So I'll stitch the other pieces first. I may come in with that. Oh, need a little piece here just to hold this guy down. Quite like having that up there on the other side near my my reindeer. This is really coming apart, which is not good. I don't know why. Really bad. Okay, now I do like the colours that I used in the Santa, and I think it probably will be similar colours there. And I think I've got a little plate. This is what I'm using on my my wren. Get your words out, Susanna. There are some blues in there that I possibly could use, but I need, that's what I'm after, probably this colour. Yep, so I'd like to maybe just stitch around there to hold that down, and I probably could stitch around there in something like that, but I wonder if we can get something a little brighter, I reckon. Or even the red, but I don't know. I kind of like some of that because it's got this colour in there, and it's got a bit of that there. Got a bit of it in here as well. Yeah, I think I'm going to use it. So it's a bit thicker than your normal. I think it's supposed to be a pearl 8, but I don't know whether it is. Okay, well, I'll use that piece first. Here's my little guy here. I'll use that. And what is going to work with that dark, or maybe this one? A bit of a variegated. I don't know. We'll see. I'll put that back there. And put these here. Definitely those two. And I'm going to use some of those, and I might find some of this thread. Okay. Guess a look. What have we got? Yeah, that one seems to work well because it's a bit of a thicker thread. So I'm going to bring a bit of that yellow in just to hold this down. Got my scissors, put that over there. Then we'll come in probably up here. I think it's got a knot in it. No, it doesn't. Thought it did. There we go. I'm just going to do a bit of a running stitch, and I will probably need more because it looks like it may not be enough. Okay, just to catch it, maybe go in between these little rungs. There's a few layers, fairly thick, and hopefully I'll catch the bird. So how are we all going? I've been watching Corrine's runner, and it's looking rather beautiful. Oh, seriously. So I've got to go through a few layers. I'll just do a couple at a time, I think. Yeah, it's looking really good, and I'm happy with mine. I'm like, you know, we're nearly in December, so I would like to get it finished so that I can have it hanging on the back of my couch and having it on display. If I do one bit at a time. Oh, seriously. Whether it's the needle or the thread, I'm not sure. There we go. I might do one at a time. Okie dokie. I've been a bit behind with all the videos this week. I am up to date with the November Wren. So we that'll be out next Monday. I'm going to go down and across. So what I might do is, because you know, none too exciting, you sitting there watching me do a running stitch and struggling with a needle and thread, I might just pause it and I'll stitch this down as well, and then I'll come back and maybe we can work on some of the flowers, like a bit more interesting, fun bit. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, back again. I've done a like a backing stitch on this because it's quite fray. Just did a running stitch on that. I did a backing stitch on this. As you can see, it's quite fray. So at least if you do a backing stitch, it will stop at that point. It won't fray any further. I like the fray look, and I just stitched that down. I also did just a little stitch using, what kind of stuff did I use? I don't know. Now this, what I want to do with this, I got this sari silk and had a piece like this, and I cut it like I opened it up a little bit like that, cut it in the middle, just snipped it and then just pulled it apart. So I've now got two pieces. Might leave that bigger because I'm thinking I might use it for this, because this is a thin piece and I reckon I could use a thicker piece, and I can use this half piece for on here, I think, because it's already that smaller piece. So I'll have another bit and then use a thicker piece to go around my little button. Okay, there we go. Use that one to go around him. Okay, so what I've got, is a frayed mess is what I've got. You tend to get a bit of a fray mess on it, and you've just got to pull the pieces. I've got a knot on the bottom, and I've got this, which may be enough to do what I want to do, but I'll see how I go. Now, just tie a knot on the bottom. Just want to do one of those roses. So I'll start in the middle, like that. And then we're going to go to here, and then over there. So I'm going to do one of those what are they called? The spider roses. Do a bit of leave a bit of a knot here. I'm going to go down. Go down to here, and then here, and maybe up here. Okay, now I want to have I'd like to do some of the like a yellow in the middle, but I'll do that after I'm finished. And that's going to be a bit of a tug, but it's just going to be like a French knot to have the yellow in the middle. Okay, so we'll just come up here. Just want to finish this off. Okay, so this method is I have got that in this book here, which is, sorry if this is moving, it probably is. You do that in the A to Z of embroidery, and they've got spider rose. Here somewhere. Come on. Okay, all our spars go to the index. Spiderweb rose 119. There we go. So you do that and you go in the middle. I could probably go in the middle with a bit of the yellow. That might work. And then come in. We've got a little bit, tiny bit of the yellow here. So that might be a little bit easier. I've got the thread there. Do a bit of a knot. That is probably a tad easier there. This needle proves to be pretty good. Now we're going to come up in the middle because it is the yellow. And I'll do it fairly close. So we go under, over, under, over, under, over. It's one of those whirly. Under, over, under, over, under. I'm just wondering if it's just easier to do a French knot in the middle. We'll do a few more and I'll pull it tight. Over, under, over. And I think it's going to work. Yeah, so you just go over and under. It's basically a form of weaving. Okay, we're going to go over, under, and then I'm going to go over and down. And it looks like this knot's come undone, so I might just knot these two together. There we go. So it might prove a little trickier with this next part. See how we go. Because it's a bit thicker. Maybe not. But it's just getting that initial thing through. Once we got the initial thing through, the rest shouldn't be too bad because you're not really stitching into the fabric, but okay. So it's going to prove to be interesting. Okay, we'll get this through here. Yeah, this is what I mean. Just an initial thing coming through. Oh my goodness. Hang 10. Just going to grab some tweezers again. Just pulled it out with this. Put my book back up there again. So now what we can do, quite long, so we'll do it the wrong way so it's not so pointy, and we're going to go over, under, over, under. There we go. Over. Proving to be not that easy, but you know, we'll work with it because it's quite thick. Maybe if I do it this way, I can pull at it. There we go. Okay, over. Oh, better not make sure I go that way. There we go. Over, under. I quite like the look of the rattiness of the of the sari silk. Over, under, over. It's more difficult the closer to the edge you get. Definitely gives it a good 3D effect. Over, under, and I don't mind if this twists. Part of me, you know, you sort of want it to. Okay, over, under, over, under. Oh, I like it. Looking nice. Gives it that real 3D effect. Okay, over, under, over, under, and you keep going until it's covering all of that. I might pull that a little tighter there and there. There we go. Okay, so we're going over that one, under that one, over that one, under that, tight but not too tight, so over, and then under. I think that might be the last one on there. And then this one might just go over that one and under that one, or just down. Make sure it's not going through any of the other layers, because I'm going to have to pull that with this. Okay. There we go. So you only have to have one piece where you really give it a good tug. Okay, and so you come back before we tie anything off. You come back, fold stuff over, and I quite like, you can see just a little bit of that. I'm going to pull that a little tighter there. Bit of yellow. So that really makes it 3D. I've got a big knot here, but part of me wouldn't mind. I'm going to put another knot here and then cut it, but I may come back and just glue it down, or just to do a couple of stitches in it. So now I've got to make the choice. Do I want to do the big one in that? I thought I'll have a look in the little one first. Now, if you don't know, this is actually the new Christmas Tilda fabric. Stay. And this is something that I did want to do in one of the others, but maybe with more, like maybe with wool or something, because you don't want that to be the feature. Whereas this, because it's the flowers that are the feature of this particular block. Yeah, I may do another one in that, and then I'm going to come back in with this to do that and that. Okay, so we'll probably have to use that other big bit, we'll see, rather than this one, because it's quite a big piece. But first we've got to come in with some yellow. I might go around a couple of times, but I've got to do my 5-pointed star first. Okay, where are we? Here we go. See how this baby looks. Okay. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, raggedy little edge. I like it. Yeah, I might do the same on that one, but I could probably do that later, and I might show you what have we got on the leaves. Do we use that colour on there, or go something a little darker? So I won't show you how to do that, but you'll see that in the thumbnail. I might use some of this. And we're just going to do either a lazy daisy or just a straight stitch. I don't want to do overwork it. Okay, and we just get a fair bit. I might just do a straight stitch. And then with these, I might go in with some French knots, some lazy daisies, and maybe the same with that, or just some satin stitch. But we'll have a look. We'll have a look at the leaves, whether we just do a straight stitch, or I could probably, you know, do this stitch, I'm thinking, just with a couple. That is a attached fly stitch, which always looks great as leaves. So I'm going to come up here. I won't do too many. You start off like that, then you do the fly. I do one down, and some of them that are a bit small I might do just a straight stitch. So I probably will only have a couple on here because it's going around the corner. There we go. I'll probably do one there and go down, come up to here, maybe do two on here, I'm thinking. Gets done pretty quick because you don't want to take away from the actual fabric either, you know. It does look rather beautiful as is. That's going to go down. Okay, maybe only need one on this baby. Coming down. Yep, just one. And before you know it, here, it's done. One down, over, and go down. This little guy is so small. Yeah, I could probably still do a little fly stitch. When they get this big, you got stuff all over the place, and yeah, get a little interesting. Okay, I'll go up here and just do one fly stitch on here because that's for that one. Probably could have done this first, but you know, it's all good. Go down. I think that looks really nice. So when you get your thing, on the next one, I'm probably going to do a little bit more of a twist. but because the video's probably taken a little bit of time, I might come back up here. Always do one down in the middle and then start your fly. Oh, here's my needle over here. Stuff everywhere. We've had a little bit of warmer weather, and then today it's, you know, been pelting down with rain again, which I don't mind. I'm not real fussed on the warm weather, but I might just do one on this one. But the unusually cold weather that we've been having hasn't been that great either. So, you know, November, and I'm having to put the heater on, which is a bit weird. Not for you guys overseas, but it is here. Okay. I love this stitch. It's so quick. Come in there, and you know, it's awkward for me at the moment because I'm having to film and show you. Oh, go back up here. Might do this one as the last one, and then maybe turn it off. See how we go. Stuck to the pin. I'll be glad when this, what I might do on this next one, because that would be the next video, I might just pre-stitch everything down, unless I've got a, you know, I'm adding something else to it, which I may. I think it needs a little something there, so just so that you don't have to go through all of this. Now, where are we? Up. Down. And I like it that it's not the same colour green as what's there. So I will jump across and do it here because I need to get into these. Okay, throwing this baby around like there's no tomorrow. Oh, I do like it. It's got the frayed little edges. I think it is beautiful, so it's going to look great, and I'll come back in and do some of them. So what I want to do, I think it needs to be a bluey green. I may have some of that here somewhere, or something that's going to match that. I think that's just about perfect. So on those ones with this colour, I'm going to do, when I come in there and do the French knots and whatever, I'll probably come over and have the French knots that will go with that. Then we're going to do tiny little lazy daisies, or even just French knots. I think that might be nice, and save the lazy daisies for maybe these guys. But I think French knot in the middle and then just French knots around. I think that will look really cute. Okay, how much have we got on the video? Yeah, 24, and then I had something else, but I might do a quick stitch of some French knots, just to show you what it's going to look like. French knots or colonial knots. It's good when you've got a really good colour. I mean, you could probably have both these, but I think just this colour might be all right. Okay, move these over. Haven't finished with the green, but that's okay. So if we do a colonial knot, so we'll go like that and then maybe twice, that'll turn out a little bigger. So and they're the knots for the little petals. Yeah, I think it gives it a bit more of a 3D. 1, 2, 3D effect. Because the flowers are going to be pretty big. So you do your normal thing and then do that again. Just got to be careful, don't go through the same hole. Get close. Okay. Once I've got the yellow in there, it will be okay. And one more, hopefully. It seems a little gappy. I may come back and do one up here, even though there's not officially one there. I'll see how I go. It might need it. Okay. By the time I get the thing in, so I'm going to go, maybe I do need to go a different colour and then go down here so that they don't just look like little blobs, and I'll go a different colour. Was it that one? Here, and so these two can be this colour, and the other one can be the different colour, so they don't look like they're blending too much into each other. Sometimes you just got to work on the fly. And feel the tassels. It's on a really awkward spot, even though it's on the end. Okay, there we go. Okay, well, I suppose after this I will turn it off and leave you to it and bid you good day. And you know, hope you're stitching along with me. It doesn't have to be on this project. It can be whatever you want. You just listen to me natter in the background while you're working on your pieces. So once we've got the yellow in there, it'll look good, and it's not grabbing that. Probably just as well I'm doing these before I do that big one. 1, 2. There we go. All this stuff that's gathering on the other side, not going to look. I think it's the tassel. Okay. Cute. I think it looks really nice. It probably would be better to have another colour because it will look a bit blendy if we have those. Okay guys, well, I will catch you in the next video, and I've still got to do, I wonder if it's probably better being that, definitely. I might just do a little dot for the eye with a tiny, maybe a tiny little bit of that. Or where are we? Needs to stand out a little more. There we go. That's some more permanent ink. I may go over that with stitching, but for now that's going to stand out, and I will probably go on the leaves and do a couple of tiny little seed stitches. I'll do it with a smaller needle so that it's not so bulky. But okay guys, well, I'll catch you in the next one, and I hope you've learned something to maybe do on your own project or a different project. See, I can do little French knots here, do as much and as little. Oh, we've got another lot of flowers here, so yeah, you can bring those out. So yeah, you'll see it in the thumbnail. I'm probably going to turn it off, and I can probably zoom it in a little bit. There you go. Turn it off and just work with that a little more. So pretty, such gorgeous fabric, but just, you know, do a bit of thread painting, and you don't have to do everything. Like here, just in the center of the leaves, it still looks good. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Bye.